squeaky sleep sounds in her bassinet, completely unaware her father was choosing pride over parenthood. Tasha didn't chase him, didn't cry in front of him, didn't even bother saying goodbye. She stood there in her oversized hoodie, hair wrapped in a scarf, arms crossed, leaning on the doorframe. There was a kind of stillness in her eyes that wasn't sadness exactly, more like the calm you get when you've decided you're not going to put on a matching performance just because someone else wants you to. Jamal hated that. He was expecting drama, maybe a few desperate lines he could later quote to his friends as proof she was still in love with him. Instead, she gave him nothing. And that was the last thing he saw before the door clicked shut behind him. It hadn't always been this way. When they met 3 years earlier, he was the charming guy who'd offered to help carry her nursing textbooks and groceries to the car in the Target parking lot. He'd been funny, attentive, and persistent in a way that felt romantic instead of annoying. Back then, he was the one waiting outside her night classes with hot food, the one who told her she was the smartest woman he knew. But steady attention wasn't the same as steady character, and Tasha learned that slowly. At first, it was little things. The way he'd sigh if she talked too long about her classes, the jokes about how she'd probably get her degree and trade him in for some guy with a house in the suburbs. Then came the sharper edges. The arguments where he'd talk over her. The constant reminders that he was holding them down financially, even though her income had always been part of the bills. She should have seen it coming when she got pregnant, and he started calling her expensive like she was some luxury item he'd accidentally bought. 3 days before he left, she had told him, holding Amari against her chest, "I'm going back to school in the spring. 2 classes and part-time at the clinic. We can manage." He hadn't even looked up from his phone when he said, "Manage? On my paycheck?
Nah.
You think I'm about to bust my ass while you're off?"